Aloha and welcome back to Moana and Ella's Divine Readings. I am Moana, the Hawaiian Gypsy. And today tonight, we're doing a reading for the full moon, the strawberry full moon lunar eclipse. I'm kind of doing it today, just a little bit after the full moon here on the 6th, and but it's still, the energies still kind of go into the next couple of weeks. So kind of like taking that full moon, the strawberry full moon in June, on June the 5th, taking the energies from that full moon lunar eclipse that was very, very potent. I actually wanted to do the reading on that night of the full moon, but the energies were really, really heavy, and sometimes, it's best to just be in silence and just allow the energies of the universe to come in, and just kind of sit with them. Sometimes, neither listening nor talking, is necessary. It's just um, more about just sitting with the energies and just allowing yourself to be part of the existence of everything, the cosmos, the universe, everything is just twine. Um, and it's sometimes it's a very interesting experience to just be in existence rather than to actually, be proactive in some way, where it's meditations or taking actions or, listening or speaking. Sometimes it's just feeling that existence, which is taking no actions. And it's a very interesting experience. And that's kind of like a lot of the energies that are coming through. Um, I know Mars is in a very particular place right now, and Mars has a lot of impact on the energies at the moment, and we're seeing that with a lot of conflicts, a lot of positive moving forward, and a lot of like anger rising, aggression rising. We're even seeing a bit of violence out there, um, but more importantly, not like there's more of it. It's just more of the intensity, and also more of bringing things to the surface. And that's what's really, really important. And that's the energies that are coming through. And that's why I think it's really good. I'm doing this reading, one day after, when the energies has, it's here, it's manifested, but it's not as potent. Um, so we're going to get into the cards, and I always bring in from the monthly reading the Mayan Oracle card, and because every month I pick from the 20 um, star glyphs each month, and this month came out was men. Men is very, very important. He really talks about a lot of the shadow aspects. He talks about also, about that, um, more when we kind of don't feel, the empowerment, when we feel that separation, and that when we feel that separation, it brings us to, it brings us to the energies, where we start to, this word keeps coming out, but it's kind of strong. I don't really want to say it, but I guess the reading is calling for strong words. But it brings us, when we get separated from who we truly are, we start the process of degradation. So, in other words, like, the insecurities come up, the doubts come up, and, we start sabotaging our own, what we are deserving in this life, and what we're here to to process and to witness and to be, to experience. And we deserve to experience all this beauty and glory that this world has to offer. So man, he's the eagle, but he's also like the eagle heart, which is the pure heart. And with that, he has that acuity of eyesight, which when we talk about that acuity eyesight, and we bring in spirit, we talk about that real like focus on who we really are, what we are here to be, and our true hearts. And that's what he reminds us. He also represents the cobweb because he can see everything and connect everything. He's also one of the birds that are known to go back between this earth and the spirit realm. And so in that cobweb, and he reminds us that everything is interconnected, everything is connected, as well as he reminds us, with all that being said, to because he rises so above, he rises so high, he flies so high, and that he can see from the higher perspective. And so the energies, and a lot of heavy energies are coming out, and but they're reminding us to see things from a higher perspective, see things from that higher being, that higher sense, the higher of who we are. And we all have that divine being that we are connected to, and that we are growing, we are ascending into each and every day as we continue to grow. So it's like looking things through the eyes of the universe, and that things have greater purpose than when our emotions get involved, that attaches to the earthly realm. We kind of want to just kind of have that disconnection of taking things personally, and seeing things from a higher perspective, because everything is for our highest good, and believing in that is and that will influence and have an impact on how we react, and then with that, the energies that draw to us. So this is the only card that was not really picked, but I just kind of pulled out the card of the full moon, the full moon. It's in Sagittarius, and I just pulled it out just kind of to bring in the energies through a card. So it's looking at the bigger picture again. So that's interesting. Men came out with my general read that I do every month, and he's all about that, and that's what we're just talking about. And that's exactly what this new moon is about. I mean, sorry, not new moon, full moon is about looking at the bigger picture. That's Sagittarius. Because things are expanding, and it's a full moon, and we're going to come into the strawberry new moon on the 21st, which is going to be a solar eclipse, and that's going to be the full solar eclipse. And I don't know why my brain's not working. Trying to remember the name, and I know the name, but for some reason it's not coming through. So we're getting to the cards. I'm going to start with the Lenormand cards, and so I read them a little bit differently as far as the pattern goes. So I still go with a subconscious, middle conscious, which is the earth. And in the North myth, earth is called Mesenheim, which is called Middle Earth, because it's the middle it's the middle realms of all the 9 realms. So this is earth. So basically that's the middle set of cards, and then we have the higher energies coming in from the universe and spirit, divine interventions here, divine messages coming through here. And then going downwards, this is more like things, past energies going into present, and then moving forward, things that the energies that we're coming into. A lot of new energies right now. This right all off the bat, we got a lot of heavy energies, a lot of like, if we look at the bottom here, we got a lot of hidden things, and that goes back to the moon. A lot of hidden energies coming out, but we're learning from them, and that's that's the most important impact that's happening, is that we're learning. So even though these a lot of knowledge, some good, some not so good, some heavy duty, but the thing is, the positive thing is we're learning, and it's causing the humanity as a whole to grow, and we're seeing that. And again, looking at things at a very bigger picture, we're looking at, wow, this way of existence hasn't been working, this system. um, Maybe it worked for a while, but it's not working. It's not serving us anymore because of separation. And it's like, okay, because the letter talks about communication, and this communication coming through is about connecting. This communication that is not necessarily spoken word. It's a communication of a higher sense, a higher being. And again, the letter, we, on a positive note, if we think of the chain letter, which I don't really care for them, but if we think of just the whole idea of a letter being sent out to many people, if it had a positive um, impact, it's basically, if I had a letter of love and I sent it out to everybody, then I'm sending out that message of love to the world. And so that's how what's coming through, is that we can send this letter, but through our hearts, through this sense of coming back to oneness. All right, coming back to the connectiveness. And letters, they can do that, on a positive sense. They can connect a lot of people. It's a form of communication. And what's neat about a letter is it's not verbal, but sometimes it's easy to express ourselves. I know it is for me. It's easier for me to write a letter than to speak. So that's very, very powerful. So the letter in the Lenormand also speaks about hidden knowledge, learning, and that's what's happening with this full moon. Things are being revealed, but they're being revealed in a way that is not a usual way of things to be communicated or revealed. So I don't know why I started with the letter, but normally I start with the middle, but I guess that message had to come through. So in the middle, I'm going to start with the middle row, and because that represents the energies that are around us manifesting, that we can recognize really easy. And right away we have the mice. And to me, mice, they're good, but in Norman they also represent, a bit of destruction. And we have the apples here. Well, if we go back to Adam and Eve, that's what destroyed, that the first couple, I guess, destroyed that pure relationship, the pure union. And so that's what the mice can represent. So, but this is more about, what we're seeing. We're seeing how, like I just mentioned, like a way of life that's not working for us anymore. And sure, it may have worked for us in the past, it may have worked for us up until now, but now we're seeing, because we're growing, we're ascending, it's not working for us anymore. And because of the fact it's not working for us anymore, to try to continue this way of life is going to start to destroy us. It's going to start to destroy us as a humanity, because anything that doesn't work anymore just breaks down. And so the energies are coming up. It's time for us to build. It's time for us to be renewed. So the positive thing to take from the mice is they also can represent fertility, because when they have babies, they have a lot of babies and they can reproduce so fast. So the thing is, once we jump on the train of letting go, right away that will bring the train of where we want to go, the new direction, a new way of existing, a new way of life. So once we let go, then all of a sudden the newness is going to happen, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to recognize it. But we have to go through this process first. It's a process. And then right to the left of that card, we have the Sai. And the Sai is all about cutting away. Now, the cool thing about the Sai is, like a lot of swords, it has a bit of a double blade in the meaning of the Lenormand. And what that means is that we have a choice of what we want to cut out of our lives. So we can cut out these things, or we can cut out those things. But it is a bit of like a choice. And depending on what we cut out, we can harvest, or if we cut the wrong way, we can harm ourselves. So again, it's about, letting go of the things that don't work. And then it's about moving forward, just because this is like a direct cut. It's not about, let's think and ponder, because we already know. When we harvest, we know what to harvest. We're not going to harvest, wheat that looks, wilted and weak and not full of nutrients. We're going to harvest the ones that are nutrients, and then we'll just cut away and, do away with the ones that are not full of nutrients that we don't need. Then we have to the right, which can represent, moving to the future, is this love card. But again, the two swans represent a relationship. And the relationship is a lot has to, you got the heart in the middle, but a lot has to do with the relationship with yourself first. And I know a lot of that message coming through, and a lot of us may not want to keep hearing that, but unfortunately, I think, well, it's really not unfortunate, it's actually fortunate. But unfortunate if we don't want to, hear it, we want to hear about if we're wanting love in our life. Anyways, the good thing is with this card is it is saying that we are coming to this anyways. We are seeing the importance that, wow, I really move much further in my life when I recognize myself. Because when I recognize myself, love myself, and nurture myself, I really add to this growth. I add to the growth. I don't sabotage myself and stay with old ways. I get rid of those old ways. And then I build this union with myself. I become whole. And then with that, we naturally attract, if it's in case of lovers, you'll naturally attract the one that is meant to be in your life, that soulmate, that divine partner, however you see that. Other ways, we begin to attract, if it's not romance, but we begin to attract like that soul tribe, the people that grow with us, the people that we really resonate with. And that's a beautiful thing. So we will be attracting those energies, and with that, and that's what I was meaning about, all of a sudden that unfolding, that growing starts, like a catalytic effect. It starts speeding up and moving forward. Then it starts feeding itself, which is beautiful, and this is what we want, and this is what we're moving into. But the nice thing is Spirit is helping us. So that's understanding what's going on in here. So underlining energies, things, so we have the knowledge, things are being revealed. So sometimes we live a life where we learn to not question certain things. But now we're seeing that that's not the way anymore. If something is not fitting or feeling right, we need to examine it, right? So we know, wow, I really think I need to cut that away, or maybe a second look as, okay, I know this feels kind of right, but maybe there's something to it that needs to be addressed. So coming into the fox. Now, I always feel sad because people really give the fox a bad reputation. And I love the fox. He's actually, the sad thing is that the fox is actually, the one that gets deceived, right? Because, I don't know if they still do this, but, in parts of the world they do the fox hunting and they do it for his fur and he's so beautiful. So why do the fox have this reputation? Well, the fox is known for being very smart. He can be very, very sleek. He's very witty, so he can outwit. So he can be very sly. But a lot of times the fox, he needs to be like that for his own survival. So really, I'm just trying not to be harsh here. I just want to find the right words. But basically, let's put it this way. So his predator, let's put it that way. So his predator, so he's being hunted by his predator. And so he will outwit the predator. Because he's very wise. Now the funny thing is the predator will get upset and say, wow, that's a really smart fox. He outwitted me. And then that ego gets hurt. And we got the sun up here, which is a good card, and it's actually the best card in the whole reading. It's a heavy reading. But the thing is, it can represent ego. So what I'm trying to say here is that, so the predator, in some cases, predators are just being who they are, and that's okay. But in some, it's just who they are. When we think about the animal kingdom, of course, we don't like that, but in some cases, nature is nature. We don't fully have to understand everything that goes on in nature, but we just have to know that certain things need to be if they're in balance. But in some cases, some predatory circumstances are not necessarily so, because they're unnatural. So the hunt for this guy's beautiful fur, he outwits the hunter, and then that hunter his ego gets hurt, so he gives the fox a bad name. And so therefore he's like, oh, watch out for the fox. He's so sly. He's tricky, and he's a trickster. So watch out for him. When really, who's really the trickster? Well, it's the predator. So why I'm saying this is also because of the snake, right? The snake card again. Snakes get a bad rep. I feel so bad for some animals. But anyways, the whole idea is the metaphorical meaning. But again, the snake is about somebody. It's more about the energy that this kind of like sabotage. But in this case, it's somebody else sabotaging, possibly because of jealousy or some kind of some kind of negative emotions going on. And so basically the message trying to come through, and I apologize for taking so long on saying this, but it's just because this energy is really giving me a lot of emotions. And when I get emotional, I'm Cancer, so the full moon in this one was really heavy. I couldn't even get out of bed the other day. But the thing is that it's just, there's going to be a lot of this energy, and unfortunately, there's going to be this energy moving forward. But the thing is, what's happening is this energy is surfacing. This energy has always been here. Okay, I apologize. Again, I'm really not speaking very straightforward. what is really happening is this energy has always been here. But with the full moon, with this full moon and with all this new energy coming up, moving forward into this new energy, before we move forward, again, before we have to cut. And so in order to know what to cut, what's happening is Spirit is like surfacing all the energies that have been, basically sitting under the veil, the illusions. So all these illusions and all these kind of sneaky energies and, deceptive energies are being surfaced. Because sometimes there are people out there that are really good at the word would be narcissistic, for example. They're really good at hiding, their ill intentions. And so, but this new energy, it's like everything's being surfaced. So Spirit is helping us to see these energies and cutting it away. And sometimes it's like that double spy. And this is what I was trying to get at with the wolf. So, there could be like somebody talking about somebody else, making them look bad, but that person is actually, a good person, and it's the person that's making that other person look bad and saying, they're the ones that are actually the one that, I don't want to say they're the bad person, but they're the ones that are actually the one to watch out for. And this could be somebody doing this about you to somebody else. So these energies is really watch out for. And so another thing that came through is just be careful who you say to what. Even if you feel you can trust somebody. And I really don't like saying this kind of message. But right now, because of all this new energy, it's a time transformation. So you open your heart to love. Okay? So we open our heart to love and acceptance. That's important. But that doesn't mean we tell everybody our business and everything, our plans. That's not something that everybody needs to know anyways. Only, it's kind of like do that on a need to know basis. But, we can be friendly and accepting and supporting, but just don't give too much of your energy. Because another thing is that's coming through also with men is take care of yourself. It's really a time to be taking care of yourself. And so the whip coming out is about, again, it's about maybe, the whip, it talks about, I'm just going to say what it talks about to kind of make it clear. The whip is kind of represents a justice, okay? Because it represents, in the Lenormand, it kind of represents about, in the French Revolution, they would whip people as, as a punishment, right? So, whether it's real justice or injustice. But the thing is, so it talks about justice. And speaking about the justice and injustice is that with the Sai, same thing. There's always that kind of duality that is able to exist because of, ego exists. So sometimes we experience, and for some reason, ego and duality is coming through this reading. And I usually read on a complementary, holistic level, that everything is in balance. But because we're talking about the particular energies that are coming through that the new moon wants us to see, is that to sometimes enable to see, what the lessons are clearly, because that's what the universe is helping us to do, see things clearly. And sometimes we have to see what's not good in order to know what's good for us. Sometimes we got to do things that are not good for us in order to know what to do, what path to go on. And so that's the justice that's being served, is that, okay, Spirit is making it more clear. So it's making it a little easier for me to handle this reading. It's very emotional. So this is nice. Thank you, Spirit. Is that Spirit is bringing up the ugly for a lot of you. This is not for all. It's general reading. But for some of us, maybe a lot of us, Spirit is bringing up a lot of, the ugly, maybe possibly going through that ugly stroll, dark night of the soul kind of path, to show us clearly what is not, what we don't want to bring with us moving forward, to show the true justice, to know what we need to cut away. So there's no question, because moving forward is we're moving forward into something totally new that we've never seen before. And this is funny. I just sat this deck down. I mean, I'm going to pull from this deck at the end, but I just noticed, do something new, something different. But the thing is that the universe, everything is brand new. We're starting to experience something we've never experienced before. And because it's new, we don't want to bring anything with us that doesn't serve us anymore, because Spirit say it is time for you to grow. And I'm just going to pop over here to the bear. And now the bear can mean a few things. It can mean a bit of, that kind of like communistic kind of patriarchal or matriarchal. Well, it actually represents more like a mother energy, but it can represent that kind of controlling, government systems, because the polar bear can represent like a blunt force. But really, the energy at the top is actually really beautiful coming through. And this is what's really nice. And this is future energy. So it is actually, we have been experienced a lot of patriarchal energies up till now, especially in systems and everything like that. And so the polar bear is coming out. Now it's time for more of this matriarchal kind of energy to come through, the nurturing, the loving. It's time for a lot of the motherly, pure motherly nurturing energies. And the more softening, the more, this justice coming through more from a loving aspect rather than just a revenge and we're starting to see that. Like now, I don't want to get into, anything negative or anything, but now like a lot of we're starting in the world, there's a lot of people, and it's really good. We're waking up. The world is waking up, and the world is starting to say, hey, this justice this needs justice. This is not working. We're not gonna stand for any oppression anymore. So there's a lot of that, standing up for that. But with that, now we're starting to see people coming from that loving. This is a peaceful message that we're sending out. This is from a peaceful, this is from love, because this is what we want to see. We want to see this justice through love. Like, let's just stop all the, negativity or oppression. Let's just stop that. Let's not add to it. And that's this loving, nurturing energy, because people are waking up. They're starting to see things from a higher level. Right? We're starting to see things from that higher perspective, that divine perspective. And so the extra card that came out was the cross, and that's very interesting. Now the cross often represents, in the Lenormand, like a burden being bear, a burden being carried. But in the reading, the burden is being laid to rest, because people are awakening up. People are coming. This is future. Okay, we're recognizing who's who. We're recognizing, and the thing is, the fight is different. Like Bruce Lee said. He said one of his and Bruce Lee, a lot of people don't know this, he was a great philosopher, and he studied philosophy. And one of the great things he said was the art of fighting without fighting. And the world, we're starting to see this because of this motherly energy coming in now. We're starting to see this, the fight without fighting. So basically it's a word. well, it's a word, but it's that word, a manifestation. In Egyptian, it's that word that is of a vibrational sound, not like the words that we speak. It's a vibrational sound. It's the name, and the name represents that manifested energy. And then when we call that name, we manifest it. And this is what's happening in love, in love, in mother nurturing. And in here, what's interesting is we have the father and the mother. So we are coming to this balance of divine masculine, divine feminine are coming in. And yes, the in yin and yang in the Tao, the feminine energies is represented by cool energies, and the masculine energies are represented by hotter energies. And so now these two are coming into balance, and the burden is being laid to rest. And this is beautiful, actually. This is more of the peace. We're coming into balance. And it has to do with people finally acknowledging. We've seen it. It's been here a long time. It's been here for a while. And but now it's finally, it's like we can't ignore it anymore. It's coming to the surface, and we're acknowledging it. And so it's like, this we're doing something about it, but we're doing the right thing now, because we're coming from the heart, and that's because we're awakening. And it's really, really powerful. So I picked 3 of the fairies, because I really love fairy energies around the new moon. Because the fairies, they're really strong, and they come out around the moon energy. They just love the moon. Sorry, I keep saying new moon. I'm sorry. Because the new moon is going to be very powerful too. That's June 21st. And it's going to be that solar eclipse on that new moon. And it's strawberry new moon with the solar eclipse. And again, it's that eclipse is going to be the full solar eclipse. And I guess that energy is very, very important, because I think it's going to be what's going to really wrap up this energy here. So from this full moon lunar eclipse that we just had on the 5th, which is just like yesterday, but the energies are still here. And it's going to be here for around the 2 weeks. It's going to be wrapping up in that full moon, that new moon coming in on the 21st. And we should start feeling a lot more at peace. Right now there's a lot of anxiety. Sometimes the mice can represent anxiety, right? They got like a really fast nervous system. So, and if a lot of us are feeling this anxiety, and also this whip can also represent anger. So we got to watch out that placement in Mars. We got to watch too that our anger is not getting the best of us, that we're seeing, okay, now we shouldn't suppress our emotions. However, we don't want to act upon them. So it's just, when you're feeling that, it's just, okay, you know what, it's time for me to take a nice soothing bath, or whatever you can do to just pamper yourself. And we want to do that nurturing. So what's really interesting about the fairy cards is that we have Laskuna, and she represents again, like, kind of like that soaking in the moon, soaking in that full moon energy. But she also represents, like music, melodies, and sweetness. And it's just like a meditative kind of energy that she has. And you can see, very peaceful. But again, she also represents, a bit of the dream world. And what she can represent, or what's coming through the card, is that she, in that dream world, it can be revealed, these passions that, again, these new energies, this new passion that, is waking up inside of her. And that's the thing, is she's very peaceful, she's very calm. And again, this motherly nurturing energies, like the Empress energy, and she's very peaceful, she's very calm, and she's allowing herself to just feel the existence and allowing the energies to sort of waking up, wake up within her and reveal these new passions, these dreams, and just this whole new way of being, existing. And so when she's ready to hop off the mushroom here and carry on with a day, she's going to go into that new direction. She's going to follow that new dream, because it's what continues to bring her life. So it's like allow these new energies to come in, and allow them to speak to you, and just take the ones that resonate with you. That's really interesting. It's really important. And then we have the Piper, and again we have another dream card. And the Piper, he's also about these music melodies. And again, it's interesting because the Piper is also about, this language, and he's a very romantic fellow, very romantic, and he plays his music with the panpipe, and the thing is, he speaks this language that is not that of a spoken word. Again, that's kind of what I was mentioning with this card, this secret language, but it's sometimes, it gets revealed to us in a dream. So really important, these dreams that are coming to us these days, even when we're awake, sometimes we can have these dreams come in, a message from spirit, but when they come in, it's really important, because they can reveal to us, the hidden knowledge, or things that are hidden within us, like these hidden passions that we have, that are coming to surface now, because we're letting go, right? We're letting go of all this ego. We're letting go, and we're balancing our masculine, feminine. We're sitting in existence and just loving being alive. So beautiful. And this is really interesting, Mr. Indy. And if you look at him, he's almost like that emoji. What? Anyways, he's really cool. But he talks about, because he's the guy, he's a fairy of indecisiveness. Now, one of the things that, can come through as a message through Indy is that it's time to decide. The other message that can come through Indy is, well, there's a reason why you're feeling this, not knowing what direction to go into, right? Not knowing what direction to go into, because we haven't fully been revealed. It hasn't been fully, clearly revealed, what this new passion is, what this new direction is, and and we just need to just sit a little bit more with the cosmos and with the energies, and allow, when we sit with them, then after a little while, they will speak to us, and things will be revealed clearly. But sometimes we have to sit with it for a while in existence first, and then the message will come through. Sometimes it takes a bit of time, but sometimes we need more information. So for this reading, Indy is coming across as, be patient with yourself. Don't rush things. Don't feel you have to rush. Don't feel you have to know things now. If the answer is not coming, and it's making you nervous, makes you a little anxious here, like a mouse here, he's saying it's okay. You don't have to feel anxious. The answer is coming. It's on its way, and it will come clearly, and you'll know when, and you'll know what to decide. So at this moment, just enjoy existence, enjoy being alive. And when you start just enjoying who you are and sitting with yourself, you're going to see things are going to change. Your perception is going to change. And you're going to understand this mystical language, this unspoken language that you know may come to you while you're awake, but it may also come to you in your dreams. And then you'll start to understand, and it'll all become clear. So I'm just going to draw a message from the deck of the universe, and then the notes from the universe. So, okay. Okay, here's a message I want to come through. I am the dreamer of my dream. Wow, that is beautiful. So yes, you are the dreamer of your dream. So this language, you typically, basically, this language is unspoken, unspoken mystical language. You actually really know, you understand this language, you speak this language. It just needs to be awakened within you. And that's why it's important to just be at peace with yourself. And then I'm going to leave this one out. I love that. Something new, because it is, it's a whole new energy. And that's why we also have to, it's important for us to be patient. Sorry, I get bossy on my readings sometimes. We have to do this. You have to do this. That forceful polar bear. No, I can be soft. No, that's why, it's nice. It's a beautiful feeling to just be at, existence with yourself and be, a peace, oneness, they call it. Be at one with the universe, be at one with the planet. And so create space for new lover. New lover. Okay, well, some of you a new lover might be coming in. Create space for new love. And that could be lovers for some of you. But for some, it's going to be like the life that you dreamed of that you didn't even know you had, but now it's being awoken in you. This new way of life that you deserve. Like it's going to resonate. It's going to sit with you 110%, and it's going to be a beautiful way. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to go through, the ugly and cut, release, let go, for this new love, passion, life that you deserve is going to come in, and it's coming right around the corner. So yeah, just keep doing that. Pay attention to your dreams. Stay hopeful. Just allow things to unveil, allow things to unfold. The universe is with you, and you are the dream of your dreams. And that's really interesting. We have this new love, and then we have a lot of this new energy coming through. So I hope that reading helped. I hope that resonated with some of you, and give it a like if you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you working on the love readings right now. But until next time, lots of love. Aloha, kekai, kekahi. Love one another. Love yourself. You are the dream of your dreams, and you are one with the great divine. Aloha.